Assalamu alaikum. In the year 1750, the historian Joseph Morgan left us an important historic testimony. This testimony highlights a clear difference between human values between the Algerians and the Europeans back then. In this video, we will see the evidence on how the West saw the Algerians, some of them with a surprised eye and some with blatant hatred. Our first historian's testimony says clearly, when a death sentence verdict is issued against an offender, in Algeria he means, the latter would walk to the place of execution with only one shawish or an administrator, without being chained or handcuffed and without any noise or stir among people. Not all the people would attend the execution, but only few who were accidentally there. When you relate the stories of noisy ceremonies to attend someone's execution to the Algerians, they would express wonder that a whole town would leave their works and flock together only to see a human put to death, as if it was an entertaining sight. He continued by saying the Algerians are amazed that some people would pay to have the closest seats to the place of execution to see at ease the agony of a person whom his bad luck brought him to a scaffold. This is a clear testimony showing the savagery of Western society that time. It also shows that Algerian society was very civilized and humane. Other sources documented the Algerians' justice after they documented in the previous source their civility and humanity. This is a document from 1824 and it says, "The Algerians are believed to have always enslaved the natives of European states with whom they have been at war, upon which all European powers have agreed with wonderful consistency of sentiment to denounce the Algerians as barbarians and as worthy to be rooted out from the face of the earth and utterly destroyed. Yet the Algerians do not visit the shores of unoffending states and kidnap the natives of those states." This text is an inspiration because this testimony confirms that misleading speeches were being woven around Algeria, especially from France. The French had always directed ideological speeches against the Algerian nation, and we could see this in their writing during the same period of 1700. This French writer said, "How come, with little real power, the Algerians were able to intimidate all Europe? How come this illusion continues? Would it be reckless to believe that the insolence of these corsairs, the Algerians, was the principal cause of the influence that they were allowed to take? This pride has always been increasing, and their current leader has pushed it further than any of the tyrants who preceded him." We heard him say to a representative of one of the first nations of the world, "What do I need from your sovereign? He sends me ambassadors and presents. I didn't send him, nor I sent him anything. He bought my friendship and I don't care about his." The Spanish negotiators seemed revolted by the humiliating conditions they wanted to impose on his court, so the Dey added, "If your master doesn't want peace anymore, then let him do war." At the end, this writer summarized by what it means that despite the rivalry and the power of the Europeans, all of them are still paying their tributes to the Algerians. Lies after lies after lies. This is how the incitement started against Algerians. They wrote the following: "Algerians are the scum of the society, a rabble that lives only on plunder." And he continued by saying, "In sea, we have to kill them like sharks. In land, they must be hunted down like wolves, without even sparing their infants. It's a race that should disappear from the face of the earth. It's unjust, inhuman, and immoral, and it's not fit for any political, literary, or historic text to ask people to exterminate babies, no matter how big the disagreement or the motive are." When we see the French using these expressions against the Algerians, we can guess their general historic view of us, and we saw it also during the French colonization. Up to these days, some of them are still holding the same views. Rather than replying to these people, we will just read the answer from here. In July 1788, the American Matthew Carey dedicated his book as a vision of his country's emergent politics and economy. He offered it as a gift to his president George Washington, and we read what he means in it. "Algerians are condemned all over the world for their illegal and unlawful plunder, and they're stigmatized as pirates for this. But Algerians are no greater pirates than the Americans, nor are a race more destructive to the happiness of mankind. The plunder and exactions of Americans on the African coast and upon Indians' territory prove this. What the Algerians are doing appears to be a judgment from heaven upon the nations to punish them for their atrocious violations of justice, and never did any people more justly merit the scourge than the Americans." He continued, "When they yoke our citizens to the plow and compel them to labor in a degrading manner, they only retaliate on us for similar barbarities." He ended by saying the English and Americans constantly avoid dealing with a warlike people and are afraid to attack them in a vile and untrustworthy manner, while the Algerians, who are generous and courageous, are not afraid to wage war against brave and disciplined enemies and are capable of courageous resistance. I think it's quite clear that the French were writing against the Algerians in a way that was unfairly derogatory, inhumane, and full of incitement against Algerians, and it continues, unfortunately, even nowadays by some. I hope this is an addition to your historic knowledge.